Two people are recording. It says we're recording right now.
Yes, so I just muted the FaceTime, and you should probably do that too, so that it doesn't create a feedback
This
loop.
idea. Well, welcome, gentlemen, to podcast number 1 of our. Is this technically a podcast? Because podcast is owned by Apple.
So actually, podcast was before. Wait.
Which came first?
The
podcast.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
Well, it's kind of like how which came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
Now we do know the answer of that because when God created, created the chicken.
God could have made eggs too.
No.
I mean, who said God had to have eggs without? Who said God had to have eggs?
No, because listen, if he had made eggs, Adam would have eaten it for breakfast. Adam would have eaten it for breakfast. Okay?
Oh goodness!
So, my name is Garrett.
How can you justify that?
Hello.
Try and put yourself in Adam's shoes. Okay, you see this thing laying on the ground in a bundle of grass, dead grass, and before some animal popped out of it, and then one day you're like, I'm gonna eat that.
What's the logic of that? And then what we're gonna do, okay, is we're gonna get this little crystal stone thing that's clear. We're gonna crush it up, and we're gonna sprinkle this thing. And we're gonna call it salt.
Yeah,
we're gonna sprinkle that on the eggs.
It's a rock.
It's a rock, like a clear rock.
It is.
We're gonna crush it up.
Yeah, we're gonna lick this rock. Oh, look, it tastes good. We should put it on that round thing.
It does taste good. So, this is kind of gonna be the how all of our podcasts run. It's kind of just gonna be. So it's me, Garrett, and Ethan. We were co-workers at Chick-fil-A in Wichita, Kansas.
Not a sponsor, but you can hit us.
Not a sponsor.
But we'd love to. We'd love to be sponsored.
If you give them a good review on Google, that would be awesome. But they are not a sponsor. I feel like I knew you, kind of, but then we started really getting.
We were very well acquainted.
We were well acquainted, and then we got the last summer of 2017, and then through the fall we got a lot closer.
Yeah.
And then Ethan and his family moved away.
Yeah.
But we've kept
jump ship.
Yeah. They moved to Georgia, which is funny because that's the original place for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But we both have a common interest in, I don't know, random conversation, but also random conversation that has lots of meaning. So that's kind of what
the first man to ever eat an egg.
Yes. Or these stories. And oxymorons. We love oxymorons.
Oxymorons. Like that one. Right.
Yes.
I can't think of right now.
So, one of our my favorite ones was the stationary car.
Oh, yes.
The stationary car was a brilliant idea. Me and Ethan came up with this while working at Chick-fil-A. This was very productive use of our time. The idea, and I was the one who authored it, and I thought it was great, was that we would have a car that produced no carbon emissions.
Yeah,
it has a great sound system.
It had very poor gas mileage, though, if you thought about it. But I mean, every car has its downsides, I guess.
It did have very bad gas miles. Now, the square tires did work great.
The square tires those were great.
Trying to think of some others.
I always liked the solar powered nightlight. Which, don't get me wrong, people have solar powered nightlights and they turn on whenever it gets dark, but this one turns on only whenever it's daytime. So,
Yes.
so I mean,
So
it has its uses, but it's very limited. So what it can do, but like, I mean, think about it. Like toasters, they have a very limited range of what they can do, but everybody buys one. And
yeah.
using that same argument, I could argue that everybody should buy a solar powered nightlight because it has a very exclusive range of what it can do.
Yeah.
And I just
Well, and it's kind of like
it's
so
like
like
an
someone
exclusive, it's like a limited edition kind of exclusive premium item, something like that. I don't know.
yeah, well, it's kind of like how you have a everyone buys a tent.
Yeah.
But
How
few
many people
people
actually
use
use
them.
them?
Few people even use them once a year.
Yeah, if you use
And
it once
so
a year, you're doing something. So
you're doing something. And if you think about that, so people spend several
I don't like.
$100s on a tent.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, well, I don't want to spend extra on this smartphone that I use every single day for several hours. Yet then people will spend more on a tent.
I feel like you're talking just about me because I still have an iPhone 5S.
Well,
That's
okay,
just
listen.
people.
As long, but it's just kind of interesting
I
that there's
agree.
these things, that are used, a few times, and it's like, where does the value come from? I mean, if you
Beauty in the eye of the beholder is all you can say.
beauty
And
is in
we
the eye
think
of the
it's
beholder.
valuable. So, either buy it because you think we're right, or get over it and buy it even though you don't think we're right. I don't know.
And now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor.
So yeah, this is podcast hybrid test number 1. We really have no clue what we're getting ourselves into.
No, we don't.
We really have no clue who's even going to bother listening to this, honestly.
Yeah,
it'll probably have like 6 views, but
yes.
all of them are just from the two of us.
Yeah, like we'll create different accounts on Anchor, and we're just gonna like, we're just gonna like search and like and subscribe.
We're gonna turn ourselves into like super icons.
We're gonna pay our friends to like us, like please listen to us. All we know is that we just love talking like this, and so we just kind of wanted to share it with someone, wanted to get the stuff outside of us.
A plan. We didn't have an idea of how this was going to start.
Yes, this is going to be much more structured from now on, hopefully. But
Maybe
this was just kind of us getting started.
It'll begin to get a little bit more structured. So.
Yeah. Now, there's just a lot of things we want to get off our chest.
Yeah.
One thing for me, which is a very important thing to me, it means a lot, and we're gonna explain this in much detail. It's that if you think about it, and it's really a mind changing. It's a mind changing conclusion to come to, and that is that Han Solo is an alien. I mean, let's think about this for a second. Han Solo is from
never human.
He was never human.
And none of the characters were really, because like I'm going to put my headphones in.
He's not a human. He is an alien. And if you think about like that, it's
because this is on mute and this is on. Well, yeah, like Obi-Wan Kenobi was talking to Anakin one time, and they're like, "Hey, you speak Basic?" And one day that thought struck me, and I was like, "Wait, how does we call that English here on Earth? But since there's no such thing as Earth, like they call it Basic. Like, exactly. That's what the language is called. So Han Solo is an alien.
He is an alien, and if that doesn't keep you awake at night, I don't know what would." So there is a lengthy story about Han Solo and his adventures. We'll probably have to go over that sometime. I remember, or I could just read. Do you want me to read that, Ethan? I could read. I could go to that little tidbit. I have a little folder in my notes with some of our stories. Ethan, are you there? I don't hear you. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Try unplugging and plugging back in. Sorry, this is a technical difficulty. We will be back shortly when Ethan stops messing around with the app and messing everything up. I'm gonna go ahead and quit this recording and see if I can start it back up. So yeah.